So we are going to get a new costume, as you can see right here. You have to log in for 21 days. So this Yunhua costume will be free. Now of course, only if you pull for her.
If you've got something to say, go ahead.
No
I'll
more
at least hear
forehead.
you out.
What do you guys think of the removal of the forehead? I used to love the forehead. So there's one costume free, and then there's Exia, right? So she is going to be in the next pass, I believe, right?
This gameplay is enough to put me to sleep.
I think it's okay, right? It's alright. I think if I want a bunny girl, I would prefer a huge. Okay, but at least she got some cake going on. What do you guys think? So I think that's the only one, right? We got one. We got two skin, but one is free. One is the one that's in the past. But regardless, let's get one copy. Alright, guys. One copy. Okay. So can we one tap, guys? Uh-oh. Okay, so we didn't quite one tap that. You don't think you have got an SSR and 60 pulls? 40 pull rule? 40 pull rule. Uh-oh.
Nice to meet you.
So so far we're gonna have 20 pulls. So we have to use gem soon. We have to use gem soon, guys. Shoot! Fake out! Come on. Okay. Okay, 40 pulls. Elision!
I'll be right by your side
Yes.
again. Looking after you so you don't get worn out, Commander.
Let's go. Alright, 40
Take good
pulls.
care of me too,
Doesn't
okay?
seem too bad, right? Could have been better, could have been worse. We'll take this somewhere in the middle. Emma is going to need Yunhua to work to her full utmost potential. Now that is going
If
to
you're
be
tired, drink
a
this.
no-brainer.
It's a
Now
special
if
remedy I
you
whipped
are
up to
trying
help
to
with
get
fatigue.
the best formation, the best out of her, you're going to need Yunhua, and then of course they are both going to buff Vesti or provide insane buffs to Vesti, right? However, that doesn't mean that she's completely useless. She still has quite a lot of buffs, universal buffs that's going to affect every character. So right here, these are going to be the ones that's like going to affect everyone regardless, right? So she can increase damage taken for the enemies, alright? She can also heal continuously, very very cool. She also has 40% attack boost. Alright, this is going to be on her burst skill. Now this one is not going to be too bad, alright, it's going to be decent. Obviously Litter and of course a Siren is going to give more, but HP potency 29%. Now she's not going to be able to compete with like those other burst 1 characters that has CDR, alright, so there are some of them that are more specialized like Tove, D Killer Wife, and of course a Rouge. Now she might be able to compete against those, but definitely not against Litter and Little Mermaid, because those two, like, I'm just not going to compare with them because those are going to be out of this world. Regardless, I'm kind of curious myself to see where does she stand, right? If we were to use her, let's say you are just going to pull for her, and then you are, keep in mind she is going to be a burst 1 without CDR, cooldown reduction, so that means you're still going to need CDR from someone else. So you have to sacrifice one of the slots in your formation, either a burst 1 or burst 2. So you need to slot in like a burst 1 or burst 2 CDR characters, D Killer Wife, something like the swimsuit helm that's going to have that for the just to provide the CDR to the entire team, right? So let's show you guys some of the testings that I found out so far. Okay, let me do a quick comparison with volume. We can still test how much buffs she gives. You never know, right? We are assuming that they are good in trial, but maybe she could be good in giving buffs as a whole. Let's just test that. Let's just try to verify that. Is she good at giving buffs on her own? Okay, so for now this is going to be the damage, right? 1554. So this is using volume with CDR. Do you guys think with Emma the damage will be improved?
If you need cover fire during battle.
So basically we are losing the CDR buffs. Now we don't have the CDR, but we might have something else, which is the explosion thing, right? Which helps Rapi Red Hood. So there's going to be that. So we're trying to see the comparison right here. I want to see if the overall buffs go here.
Come on, everyone. Let's all attack together.
Okay. We can conclude one thing. So Emma is better than Volume. And that sort of speaks a lot, right? Because Volume has CDR. So one thing that surprises me is this one. Why did Mihara do way much more with Emma? Why did we see a big jump for her? For Mihara Bonding Chain? What does Emma gives? She do give attack percent. Attack percent boost, I guess, helps the DOT. The reason why Rapi did more here is I think because of the CDR. So Rapi was able to do one extra burst at the end. I think that's why. So this 641 million versus 600 million here is because Rapi did one more burst right here. But I think the Mihara one was surprising. But regardless, the right one. So let's say in a condition or in a situation where we take out Crown, right? Then I need to take out Helm. I can test a few more different variety. So right now I'm getting 1630. So basically Grey for burst 2, Rapi Red Hood and Mihara bonding chain is still there. Specifically is still there. And then of course you got in this case Emma and D Killer Wife. Now of course D Killer Wife is there specifically for the purpose of reducing the CDR, because Emma doesn't have that. So earlier one was volume, and then we got Noah to buff everyone. And Noah's buff is going to be quite insane. So now we took Noah out. We're putting one character just as a CDR placeholder. I would say this is pretty impressive actually. It's quite competitive. So on the left we got Volume and Noah. On the right we got Emma and Helm Aquamarine. Again, she's there specifically CDR because this team don't have any. I think this damage is pretty competitive if you ask me, right? So Rapi is doing less here. Mihara is also doing less. That's because Noah gives a lot of buff, right? But you can see I remove Noah, I put Helm. Yeah, I think this is as good as it gets. I think I can conclude that Emma is better than Volume. In most cases, Emma is better than Volume. I think she's actually really strong. I think a lot of people try to say that, oh, she's only good when you use with Vesti and Yunhua. Yeah, sure, I can see that. But after testing her right now, I can confidently say that she might have the potential to be in top 5 right now for Burst 1. So the thing is, it's quite conditional, because we know that Lita and Little Mermaid or Siren, right? Siren and Lita is going to be the consistent one. You can use those in any other team. And then we have someone like Tove, which is only good in shotgun teams, right? You definitely use her in shotgun teams. And then you have somebody like D Killer Wife, where you use in Pierce teams. But right here you can see with Emma right here, I was testing her. So I was using Burst 2, Grave, Rapi Red Hood and Alice. These three are always going to be fixed right here, right? We have these 3 characters fixed. So I put D Killer Wife here, right? D Killer Wife, keep in mind she's a character that's just here for CDR. She's just here to help Emma with CDR, right? And then we have here with Noir boosting this team. Noir can help Rapi Red Hood by a lot, right? And then these 3 again is the same. And then we got Volume right here. So Emma is better with Volume plus a Noir. Alright, all I did is borrow D Killer Wife CDR right there, just to ensure that our team has CDR. And we are doing a little bit better. You can see right here, right? 1396 versus 1334. It might not be that huge, but I think with Vesti and Yunhua later on, that could change, right? One more thing is right here. This is with D Killer Wife. D Killer Wife with Noah, alright? In this particular team with Alice and Pierce as well. So this is 1371. This is 139. This one is still more. Even D Killer Wife as a burst 1 is still more, right? And then last but not, okay, Lita is not even a comparison. So Lita is going to be very strong. So she is going to be the one that can definitely beat it. But again, we are comparing it with Noir's buff as a whole. That's going to be what it is. So I do think that it depends on the combination. Plug and play. Who is going to be the last slot? But for now, I think she is looking actually solid. She's not trash, right? She's actually, if you actually do pull for her, I think you can actually make her work. You can actually make her work outside of her team. The thing is, in the proper environment, there's a few more factors, including the heal that she can provide, right? She also does provide heal, but at the same time, she also does taunt. So these 2 factors, depending on whether or not you need it, could be invaluable. Because it does depend on the condition, it does depend on the boss that you're fighting, it depends on a lot of other things, right? That's just what it is for those two aspects.